We have now got the latest drop from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and it is Classic Car Road Trip. And I think this one is set to be phenomenal. Of course, we first of all need to see the regulations for this, but a Classic Car Road Trip, to me, sounds insane. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're enjoying the content coming to you recently. Let's take a look at these races. First of all, live event race number 3, a sprint 1.7 miles. We can see that this is a gravel race, so more focused to off-road. Maximum year is 1990. Maximum RP for each vehicle is 720. The usual kind of rewards, 18,750 credits for completing, of course, that first time completion bonus there. Also, over to race number 2, once again, 1990 max age of a vehicle, 720 max RP, a domination of 4.2 miles, but this time 100% asphalt, and it's a clear dry day. Fantastic. Lastly, race number 1 is again a 3.4 mile sprint, a clear asphalt race. We love to see it. Again, we can see the regulations for this series. 1990 is the maximum age of the vehicle, and the maximum RP is 720. Now, of course, we're not going to be using the Apollo for this one, but as soon as I see 1990 as the max age, one car I had in mind, one car I'm desperate to drive in this game, and it is, of course, the Ferrari F40, the poster car for everyone's childhood. This is one that I'm very much looking forward to driving in the game, and you know, seeing how it's going to stack up against the rest. Realistically, up towards 1990, are there that many cars that will stack up against the Ferrari F40? What comes to mind initially? Maybe a Lamborghini, maybe the Miura might be alright. More specifically, I think we could look at the Ford GT40. I think apart from that, nothing else really springs to mind for true competition. We can maybe throw in the Daytona, the Shelby Daytona there, but largely I think this Ferrari F40 is going to be the powerhouse for this race. I've made a couple of tweaks, semi-slick tyres, an exhaust tune, and I think an ignition tune. Not much to play with this one. But like we can see, we will get into the first race for today. Live event race number 2. Fantastic name. And surprisingly, we've got competition. We've got real players in this race. Launching the F40 off the line, it launches fantastically well. I have stretched out that final ratio, making the gears a little bit longer. That perhaps compensating the launch for the rear wheel drive here. But like we can see, not a lot is actually touching the F40 at the early stages of this domination race. The real players we have here, 3rd place, 7th and 8th place, so they're not really stacking up. They've probably chosen the wrong car. I largely think that the F40 is going to be the power play for this race series. Come down the track here, we have got a little bit of a tricky left-hander here. We don't want to outbrake ourselves collecting the wall on the outside. As we snake through the right-hander, left-hander, we don't want to overextend, we don't want to clip that house, the building on the right-hand side. Tight left-hander here, once again not outbraking ourselves. A bit of a drop in elevation there, but we do come around that right-hander. We can now get the power down as we do come up towards a tricky part of the track. I did do this race a couple of times advancing through the series, and we can cut the track here, guys. I use it as a top tip to save 2 or 3 seconds of your race. Get the power back down, and largely now we have got a fantastic section to really learn the F40, the handling model, something I do talk about a lot. Every car very much has a different handling model. I have, of course, applied a tune to this one. If you guys want the tune that I've done for this, let me know in the comments section and I will share it with you all. But like we can see, this thing is absolutely planted to the track. The back end barely steps out. We can properly get the power down in this one and punch our way through the rest of the course. Left-hander here, we do lift ever so slightly. We do, fortunately, manage to miss that lamppost. Nice right-hander here. We can flutter with the throttle there. And from here on, guys, I think we're largely powered down. Maybe a couple of slower sections, but we can really start to get the power down. Open up that Ferrari F40, listen to it scream for the rest of this race, and we can see maybe even what top speed we can get out of this one. Coming around this corner, around about 160 miles an hour, which is absolutely bonkers in an F40. We've stretched completely away from the rest of the pack. Of course, a domination race, 26 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. And we do cross the line, we do take a win, and we do take first place Overall, on the leaderboard, it is still an early leaderboard, but we've got quite a few seconds there to NL Replay in the Porsche Carrera Coupe in second place. The F40, very much the power play for this race series. Coming over to the second race, race number 1. We start off, this has been a bug with this race series so far, we load in with no audio, but once again, jumping into the F40, launching this one off the line. We don't have any real players in this race, unfortunately, but we can we can start to progress a little bit more here. Tight left-hander here, we can see a lot of the AI do go off the track, so you really want to get into that corner first before any of the AI do take you out. Now we can get the power down, now we can really see how much grip this F40 has with a lot of load going through it basically. Nice right-hander here, the back end slightly flicking out, and into that left-hander we have an AI absolutely shunt us up the rear end, but we still manage to stay on track. It does unsettle us coming down into that turn. We do collect the barrier, but when we start to focus back in here, we get the power back down. Round this right-hander, we've got a nice little snaking section coming up ahead. We can really focus in on keeping this as clean as we can and perhaps target another first place overall on that leaderboard. It's been good to get some first place on the board, some good rankings before a lot of the hackers, the cheaters do come in here and ruin that leaderboard for everyone. But when we focus in on this race, we can see that the tune we have applied to the F40, it is absolutely planted, stepping out a couple of times, but that's more due to the way I drive the car, the way I flutter with the brake pedal and the throttle pedal, hence the back end stepping out. Coming up this section, we know we've done this many times before, we can cut the track there, cut through those bushes and save ourselves a precious couple of seconds or so, getting the power back down. Big right-hander into left, into right, into a tight left up ahead here. This is a good section. We can really see just how planted the F40 is. Heavy braking section. We don't want to overextend and take out the bushes, the shrubbery on the right-hand side there. Getting the power back down once again. A nice fast-flowing section coming up. Right-hander, we do get brave. We do touch the curbs in this one. The Ferrari does seem to handle it quite well. And at this point, we do get unbelievably brave. Cutting across the track, we do manage to miss that mound on the right hand side, once again crossing the line in first place, and once again narrowly taking first place overall on the leaderboard from Hikarashi in the AC427. And then lastly, we'll jump over to race number 3, that off-road race. And you guys guessed it, it's not going to be in the F40, it's going to be in that Rally Legend. Brum, the 2CV is back once again. We know that this thing is ridiculously overpowered in these off-road races when we do get the chance to use them. As we can see in our Mayu in the Beetle, we do have another real player in this one. Ironically, we struggle to get matches against real players in normal races. We come to these mini-series, we're getting matches with real players. Perhaps Test Drive Unlimited are onto something with this one. Back to the race, the 2CV stretching ahead of the pack, outbraking ourselves. We do collect the barrier on the right hand side here, but we already know that the 2CV, that Brum, is phenomenal in these off-road races. Not a lot touches it at all, guys. Very broken car. I hope you have all managed to experience a 2CV with its off-road capabilities so far. We can see it is very twitchy, it is very pointy, it does bounce off the limiter constantly, but it is absolutely bags of fun. Please go and try a 2CV in an off-road race. Hairpin there, we try to flick the back end round. Unfortunately the 2CV doesn't really have the power to carry it all the way around, but we do get the power back down. We can now punch our way through the rest of this off-road track, cutting little bits of the track. We just missed that wall on the left hand side there, lifting up onto two wheels, taking out another barrier, but it slowed us down enough so we can start to push up the uphill section here and advance towards the finish line, just 15% of this race left. Left-hander here, we do start to bog down as we slide the car around the corner, once again coming down to the low amount of power that the 2CV has. But as we do punch our way forward, we do cross the finish line, we do take first place once again. Can we make it a clean sweep of top places overall? Well, we'll have to wait for that one. We have now completed the Classic Car Road Trip Week 1. No special jacket for this one, but largely a fantastic series. And unfortunately, we were 3 seconds off of first place. Straw in the Delta Integrale taking first place overall. Perhaps a few more efforts there, we will take first place. But overall, the road trip series that Test Drive Unlimited has given to us, I think is absolutely fantastic. I wanted to drive the F40 at some point. I needed a purpose to buy it. and largely I'm very happy to have done so. I do hope you guys have managed to experience the Ferrari F40, a phenomenal vehicle. Once again, if you do want the tune I have applied for it, please let me know in the comment section and I will post it there for you guys all to replicate. This thing is absolutely fantastic. Let me know what car you guys have chose for the road trip week, and of course let me know if you are going to jump into the 2CV for that off-road race. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe as always, guys. Yeah, I'll catch you guys all in the next update for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.